Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure everybody can hear me. If you would please type the number one in the chat box, let me know that you can. As we go forward here today, one for yes, two for no will work out fantastic. I'm not seeing any ones. There we go. All right. Delayed reaction. Okay. Thank you for that, everybody. Uh, yeah, Tim said, since your phone blew up last week asking if this was the top and should we get out of the market, on the Harrow. The market's dropping again today. Should we get out or expect the Lord to come first? Oh my goodness, we'll talk more markets, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and get the Camaria on. I got it working here. There we go. Excellent. All right, let's catch any last comments there. Hey, Kevin, afternoon. Thank you for all the ones, everybody. Afternoon, Helen. Hey, Jeff, good morning. Uh, Afternoon there, Brenda. How are you today? Chat was disabled. I'm glad we got that working. Yeah, we got Andrew in the house. He jumped right on that, so I appreciate it. Very much appreciated. Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting there going, am I in the wrong room? I see people, but no one's talking to me. So as we get started, keep in mind everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. For those of you that are live with us on YouTube, following along through Tradier on the hub or wherever you're coming in from, welcome. Make sure you send your messages through the chat box there. Andrew is linked in there. He will be able to capture those messages, relay them off to me, and I'll be able to answer those questions. So excellent. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to go through our follow us page and we're going to talk about trades from today. So here's what I want you to do. Start getting them ready now. What trades have you gotten done today, Friday, Thursday, whatever it was? What trades did you do? How did you do? Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. It's that you did it that counts. Funded, non-funded, doesn't matter. They're all non-funded as far as I'm concerned. I'm not asking for statements. I'm asking for what you did. Although we do have some like Brenda who sends in the actual the trades that she does. Again, we assume everything to be non-funded. Oh yeah, Brenda, I got it. I saw the email this morning in 3 minutes. That is awesome. I'm going to share it with everybody in a little bit. We'll look at economic reports, and we'll take a look at the market and do a review of the S&P. We'll look at upcoming future trainings, the weekly trading topic for the week, and then your stocks in review. And that will be what candidates do you want me to take a look at. And I would highly recommend that you ask the questions, folks. This is an opportunity to say, hey, Rob, I'm looking at XYZ, whoever it might be, ABC, Google, whomever. What do you see on the chart? What are your thoughts? Right? Don't tell me, oh, I bought this already. Was it a good idea? I can't answer those questions. Should I buy this? Theoretically, I can't tell you yes or no, you should buy it. I can tell you what I see and what I would do if I was considering it, but I can't tell you whether or not it fits your risk profile and risk tolerance. All right, so here's our follow us page, folks. If you're not already following along with us on the various social platforms, please do. We've got YouTube channels. We've got our newest newsletter, which is the Trading Post. Andrew's going to drop a link in for that. It is free. You have to be subscribed to it. We do not add this to our regular email list. This is only for the Trading Post. Comes out 5 trading days a week. It gives you a list of the top stocks that are moving. It talks about what the markets are doing, top news that's out there, and so forth. Each day we've got different topics that we put in there. As far as day of the week, we've got 5 different ones. So each day there's a different focal point for what we're looking at. But I am constantly shooting videos. I want to say on Thursday of last week, we shot 21, 22 short form videos. So the Reels, TikTok type videos, we shot somewhere in that range. We had a couple other videos that we had to shoot internally for business purposes. And then from upcoming classes. And then this week, we're actually doing 2 days, Thursday and Friday. We're going to be shooting in our office in New York. So it'll be fun. But we're going to get a whole bunch of YouTube videos done this week as well. And we've got a bunch in the pipelines. Folks, we've got over 1,000 videos up on YouTube right now. Go check it out. There's a lot of information out there that you could be picking up on fairly easily. Okay, so let's take a look at today's trades. What trades did you do? Again, if you did them today, I don't care. You don't have to say funded or non-funded. I'm going to say it's non-funded. It doesn't matter. If you say, oh, this was a funded trade, yeah, non-funded. It doesn't matter. We can't legally talk about funded trades. We're just going to talk trades. And it's not me. I would love to do it. I would love to say, here's my account. Look, I can't. It's against the law. Patty said AMD, 2 contracts, $50. SPY, 4 contracts, $80. Excellent. Good day, Patty. Good day. John said, "Hey, John, welcome back. Wheel of Fortune, AAOI, AI Naked Put, open cash flow, $1,100 today. Today, guys. Trips got three scalps this morning. Micron for 18.4% in 5 minutes. Apple 17.7% in 7 minutes. AMD 23.2% in 13 minutes. Busy AM and I am done. Trip, what time were you done? What time did you finish up today? When was your trading over? Keep in mind, he can't start any earlier than anybody else. He starts at 9:30, just like everybody else does, Eastern time. All right, let's see what he comes back with. 9:53. So 23 minutes, his day was over. How many of you would like to work a 23-minute day and be done? Right? That's what we're doing there in Inner Circle. Hopefully, you guys got to see some of that in the Mastermind Week. Brenda sent an email along, which I'm going to share. So this top one is from today. She did if you check out, let me grab a drawing tool. Let me change color though. It's a little harder to see there. Let's make this white. All right. So right down here, 11/12/56. All right. She bought to open 10,000 contracts. Yes, Brenda trades big. 10,000 contracts. It's September 29th, 665 puts. She bought them at $1.52, and then that was at 11/12/56, 11/12/57. She bought another 10,000, so 20,000 contracts. Also $1.42. She sold all 20 of them, all 20,000, at 11:15. So 3 minutes later, ish, at $1.68. That is 42.52. That's 26 cents per share times 100 shares. Is $26, right? For one contract. She did 20,000 contracts. But folks, you don't have to do 20,000. If you just did one contract, you made $26. If you just did 10 contracts, you made $260, right? And for 10 contracts, you needed $1,420 to do 10 contracts. That's it. That is why SPY is so important to me that it should be on everybody's list. This was her trades from last week. I believe you said it was Thursday, Brenda, right? 25th? Yeah, Thursday. This was on the 25th, right? So there's a lot of profit in there, guys. Over $1 million on Thursday. So again, everything's non-funded, right? Funded, non-funded doesn't matter. Everything is non-funded. Jim said one SPXW, which is the weeklies, the daily expirations, bought at 11:06, still in, waiting for it to close on Friday's high or close to getting out, up $1,218, 101.5%. And it was called, Brenda said calls and puts on Thursday. Yes, we can see there are both of them in there, folks. Right? So overall, fantastic setups, guys. Excellent. Good kudos from everybody. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated, right, for everybody there. For me, it was just one today. Mondays are busy days for me. APP has become one of my freaking favorite stocks for like forever. You could see we had to draw a new fib. We're going to need a new one soon. Maybe now actually, but not now, but soon. You can see what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 trades back here. And they date back from July 15th is the first one. Right? July 15th. July 14th, right here. July 14th. We had this trade here. We're up $1,248. Now these are pop trades. The trade I did today would not qualify as a pop trade, just because of the aggressiveness of it, but it is a trade that I took. So we're gonna share it. Let's see if we go over into, well, let's see what happened. We gapped up. So that right away precludes many of the trade setups that I do is precluded because of this. And what this came down to was what I call a high volatility switchback trade, right? And it doesn't even have to be the switchback, but it had to be the ability to take a high volatility trade. It just works extremely well in switchbacks. So if we go and look at a 5-minute candle, what happened? We gapped up here first, right? And we opened at 685.40, right? 695.50, 700, right above our heads, okay? We stretched up, and if we look at a 5-minute candle, we stretched up. Here's the 697 or 695 level, whatever it is, 694. 695. Here's that 695 level. We stretched up there. I can't really see much, but that first 5 minute looks like it played a lot of good info in there. But let's go look at, and then there's a 700 also, which is up here. And I wanted it to pass the 700 because right here, we're in a damn obstacle course. 695.47, 700. We got a lot of stuff above head, and I don't want to be bumping my head on ugly and getting stuck in this trade, right? So here you go. If you look at the 1 minute chart, right? We broke, if you took this breakout, here's a nice close, a great retest and bounce. You could have taken right on that candle, and we had one, two more sideways-ish candles before we started moving up on the one that closed just barely above the 700 level. And then we got a pull back in here and a bounce, and there was the entry to the trade. Resistance is at, I don't know which line it is exactly. It's going to be the red line. So 722.39. So 722.39 is resistance. So about 720 is going to be my target. So we get into this trade at about 701. We get out at 722 on this setup. That's a $21 move on this position, right? Only one contract is all I did on it, just one, right? It's a high volatility trade, right? I'm not doing a lot of contracts, but how many do you need if it moves $21, right? If you have a $21 move, think about this for a second. Where's my calculator? It's somewhere. If you had a $21 move, and if you start with a 70 delta, if you start with a 65 delta and you move $21, you're back in that 85-ish range. So 21 delta, $21 move times 0.85, right? That's 1785 times 100. That's $1,785 for the day. For the day. And the day for today was over by 1036, right? Well, the day was over today, right? So ideally, you had a great setup. Now, does this happen all the time? No, but can you find stocks that you really get, that the heartbeat just speaks to you? APP is one of those for me. Right now, it has been harder, don't get me wrong. It has been harder. When we first started trading APP, right, we were down here. Where was July? Early July, 15th, let's call it, right? May, June, July. So we were down here. We're at 300 and, call it 350, it doesn't matter, close enough. We're at 350. We're over 700 right now. So we have doubled in price since we picked this candidate and put it on our list. We had a lot of trades in here, and then once we got to this breakout here, let's say 9.5, right? We had some. There's a 9.4 trade, 9.3, 9.4, 9.2. What's this one up here? That's August. Let's put that back there. Right? We got a 9, 3, 9, 4. Oh, let's do that. Let's move these around a little bit. 9, 2. All right. 3, 4. These are July. These are July, August, August, August. All right. Now we got the one over here that's September. Okay. So we haven't taken a trade now. We took 9, 2, 3, and 4. Which was here. And then we got this gap, right? 2, 3, 4. This was the fourth, right? We got this gap. We got one trade on the 11th, and it's just run. We never got a good setup on this day. Didn't give us one. Here we pulled back and bounced, but we didn't get the setup there. And then we just gapped right through today, right? But we did what we needed to. We ran into resistance and we failed, right? Yeah, Tom said, I could see why you like the stock. Yeah, a lot. A whole freaking lot. All right. Is it aggressive? Yes, it is aggressive. A little more expensive. It is now at $700. Not when we bought it at $350 when we picked this out and put it on our list. It was definitely better priced on the options, but a little bit more costly. But my point behind it was not go trade APP. I'm not trying to tell you that. I'm telling you, go find the ones that just seem to jive for you, right? For me, if you look, Carvana, it's not jiving for me. I'm just not catching it. Yeah, Brandon, it probably does need a new fib. I'm going to look at it this evening in Pop. Probably does need a new fib. Let's see. But if we look at DoorDash, DoorDash is jiving for me, baby. DoorDash is kicking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 trades on a $250 stock, which moves $7 a day. Not horrible. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 trades, right? We've had 4 that have gone against us, 7 that have gone in our favor. Um, some good numbers as far as P&Ls go. We had a couple of washes. Here's a minus 390, a plus 390. They're a wash, right? 468 was a minus 390. That's a wash, all right? $2,800, $2,600. That's a wash. $1,200. We don't have a $1,200, but we've got plenty of others that have good P&Ls on them, right? But well, let's address that. Are there trades go against us? Yes. Folks, if you're not in power option plays, one of the things you must be doing is following us on social. Because if you are on Facebook, uh, TikTok, Reels, which is Instagram, LinkedIn, we're going to be putting them on Twitter right now. We're just trying to figure it out. Their API is giving us a little bit of problems. We take these and I do short form videos of this, minute, 2 minutes long, maybe. One video, one trade, one day, and just show what's happened for that one position, right? And we do every trade. And I make a big deal when the ones go against us and say, listen, we don't win on every trade. That's correct. If we had 11 trades here and we won on 7, what is 7 out of 11? Is that 9? No, it's not 9. What is that? So 8 out of 12 would be 3. About 75% win, 72%. Someone want to do the math? 7 out of 11. Oh yeah, I think I calculated right here, don't I? I do. Where did it go? It's like, man, I don't want to do math. 7 divided by 11. 63% win rate. 63% win rate. I'll take it all day long because I have a higher profit potential than I do risk when I take the trade on, or else I won't do the trade. All right. So now, do they all do that? No. But are there others? Yeah, Amazon has been killer, right? And I've got, where is it? I started to do videos for these 3, and I didn't get a chance over the weekend to do them for these. Right? Lily was a swing trade, by the way, if you want to see that one. That gave us $4,984 after we got stopped out of the last half of the contract, last 2 contracts, last half of the trade. So overall, I'm pleased with our results. All right. Okay, perfect. Let's go back into the presentation. Economic reports. Let's go over to Forex Factory. All right, I'm going to be doing a video on this maybe this week when I get together with Sean. I'm going to be doing a video on this. I want to identify these as a very specific pattern moving forward. What I mean by these economic reports. And I'm going to rank them with the number of a 1, a 2, or a 3 for the level of importance. All right, so there's a couple of factors. First off, if we have a report that is open during, it happens during the market hour, so 10 o'clock after 9:30 Eastern, and it's orange, it's going to get a 2. This one coming up is orange. President Trump speaks, it might be red. It all depends, right? But it's listed as orange, so to make this easier. Tomorrow, we have a report coming up. Let me change this one back over from the white I added it to before. Let's go back to red. Tomorrow, this is coming up at 10 o'clock, and it is red. That gets a 1. That's critical, okay? That's an important report. This is the same 10 o'clock, and it's orange. It still gets a 1 because it's with a red. So the reds could drive it. That's all I care about, right? OPEC meeting all day tomorrow. Yeah, it's okay, right? It's orange, so it's a 2. I don't really care. Okay. 8:15 in the morning, ADP. Yeah, it's a 3. Why is it a 3? It's red because it's before the market opens. So I don't care. Anything that is pre-market, 3. I'm not saying it's not an important report. 3. What I'm saying is, if I don't have an open position already, and this is coming out 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, market's not open. When the market opens, the economic reports, the market's not going to open at 9:30, and all of a sudden the economic reports goes, we're not really sure. Let's just see what happens with the market for a little bit. We'll come back in a half hour and figure it out. Hell no. If the market's going to react because of it, it's going to react now. right? So to me, it's a 3. When we get to a 10 o'clock and it's red for ISM, that's a 1, right? So where am I focusing? I'm focusing on the ones. That's really what I'm most concerned with. The threes, not as important. Now, once again, if you say, well, Rob, I'm a futures trader, okay, that just became a 1. Because when I'm trading futures, and I don't do it as much as I used to, but I'm trading futures, those pre-market reports are prime trading time. I'm looking at those reports all the time. Ideally, I'd love to see a break, a retest, and a bounce. That's really what I'd like to see on those announcements, right? So 8:30, the report comes out. These are, I don't know, I'm going to make it up. 8:31, right? 8:31, we get a pullback, 8:32, and we get the bounce, and that bounce comes in, a minute or so after, whatever it is. And it's not minutes, it's ticks, right? It's how we're looking at least how I look at futures on tick trades. So we're going to look at a 1, 2, 3 system. We'll identify it again in a video, so we'll have it available for us, right? Yeah. So we'll have those available. Let me ask a question here. And I've kicked this around with Sean we've thrown it out on and off again over and over. If I had an open office call, we would only probably be able to fit, just because of the way our cameras are and the likes, we'd probably only be able to fit 3 or 4 people in the office without you sitting all the way on the side where you're not going to see anything. If I did that and we were going to do, let's say, somewhere between 2 and 4 hours of short videos, all training type stuff, take questions from the audience during it, does anybody and it would be free. Would anybody have an interest in coming for that to New York? If you do, just put it in there, Andrew. If anybody that puts it in there, just take note of their names. It would be Long Island you're coming to. So it's from the airport. It's from JFK. It's 25 minutes, 20 minutes from JFK. LaGuardia is another 10 or 15 minutes from there. We're in a town called Rockville Center. Okay, a couple of you. That's good. Jim said, look at this site, Forex Factory each morning. Yesterday, President Trump's speak was not on Monday's report. Today it is. Yeah, and that may have been him adding it to there, Jim. They're talking, and it might be because he's meeting with Democrats today to talk about the government shutdown. And listen, whoever's in the White House, whoever's got the bigger microphone, right? So he's going to get his side of it out of what's going on with that. So that it may have something to do with that, which wasn't on the docket because he canceled it. Who knows? Okay, who knows? All right, so let's go back into the presentation. All right, market review. Let's go take a look at the S&P 500. Start there first. All right, beautiful. All right, so we're up 17.8 right now. All right, 1780. Right now, we ran into the 66.69 level, pulled back. I love it. We gapped up, we pulled back a little bit. The really nice thing is VIX is behaving nicely, right? Well, actually, we gapped up on VIX. My bad. I'm reading the candle before wrong. We gapped up on VIX. So once again, overreaction the wrong way. I don't get the market sometimes with VIX lately. So we're sitting up at that 66.69 level right now. So where are our targets, right? Well, you got the 66, 96, 48 level, which we've already hit, right? The high on this day was 66, 69, 52, the all-time high, right? Closing high was the day before at 66, 93, 75. That was the closing high, okay? We had this nice pullback in there, this bounce. We're back at that 66, 69. So those two levels right there are critical. If we break out, we're looking at 67.26 is the next upside. And right now, here, it's simple. Look at it this way. You are looking for recent swing highs and recent swing lows. I've got them all identified on the screen for you. These horizontal blue lines, those are the swing highs and swing lows. Don't use other levels. Don't add other ones in. Just use those. If I miss something, my bad. Just use the ones that we've got in there. All right? And we continue to see higher highs in here and higher lows in here. Right? So what are we looking at? The next downside target would be the 8, then that 66.12. That 21 moving average is going to come down to a confluence of that swing low and that next fib level. So there's a lot of strength there. Three levels of plywood on that floor that you've got to break through. All right. So there's a lot of strength in there. If it breaks, how does it break? Does it just break straight through? Does it come back and retest and fail? Does it take out the previous swing low? All of that matters. All of that matters. But you've got to get focused. You've got to get hyper focused on looking at the chart and stop sitting this close to the chart. Back away and take a bigger view. Look left. I don't say it enough any longer. I'm so used to our inner circle and our masterminds just knowing you've got to do it that I've gotten away from saying it as often as I need to, but you've got to look left. Everybody gets hyper focused on today, what's happening right now. And it's important, without a doubt. But what else is happening? How does that correlate to everything else? Oh my goodness, we're at 6,600, where a month ago we were at 6,000. That's we're up 600 points, 10% in the last 3 months, whatever it was, right? 4 months. So we've had a really good move so far in that period of time, okay? And then if we break to the upside from there, 67.26 and the 67.65 level, which is our fib level. It's a major or super fib, it's called. It's a major Fibonacci level up there, right? So we definitely want to keep our eye on those levels. Are we going to break it, fail from it? Yes. I'm not here trying to say we're going to just continue to go up forever. We are going to have pullbacks. I want them. I look forward to them, right? Shake out the looky-loos. Get rid of all the individuals that way that are just kind of playing. They're not really in this for the real haul, for the right reasons. They're trying to jump on the bandwagon, which is okay. Nothing wrong with it. Hey, if you can make some money on it, why not? I'm in it for a long haul, right? So what am I doing? If it gets up here, you need to have a plan, right? If it goes up, what do you do? If it goes down, what do you do? You should have answers to up, down, sideways for every company you're looking at trading. That should be part of your plan. If it goes up today, what am I doing? Nothing, because I'm bearish on the position. If it goes sideways, what am I doing? Well, maybe I might do a spread. If it goes down, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm buying a put, or I'm doing a bull put spread, a bear call spread, or I'm doing a whatever, right? What is your setup, your system based on if it goes up, down, or sideways? And what does that up, down, sideways look like? If it gaps up $42, are you taking the trade? No, not me, right? What if it gaps up, pulls back, and bounces? Maybe. Did it come to a key level? Did it meet the criteria like a high volatility switchback trade? Yeah, then I'll take it. Otherwise, no, right? So you've got to have the reasoning and the metrics behind what you're looking to accomplish, what you're looking to do, all right? So is that making sense, guys? The chat got a little bit quiet there. Give me a 1 for yes or 2 for no. You guys still hanging in there? Got a bunch of new people in here, so welcome everybody. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. Barry, thank you for that, sir. Hey, Andres. Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's go back into our presentation. Upcoming, we've got Inner Circle on the 29th, which is at 7 p.m. That's tonight. That's our check-in. Then October 6th is the next one. Mastermind Group is on the 30th at 8 p.m. That is tomorrow night, folks. I teach the second part of our core strategy for advanced cash flow. So plan on up to 2 hours tomorrow. Trading You is on the 6th. Covered Call Explorer Q&A is on the 8th. Mastering the Trade is on the 15th. Now, Pop, Covered Call, E-mini are all on regular schedule, as is Power Hour and Trading Coaches Playbook. There are 2 spread spectrums left. One of them coming out on the 1st, which is Wednesday, and I didn't look at what day it was, and it's at noon. And the next one, the last one, is on the 2nd at noon. We've already done the one in the evening. Andrew's already dropped the link in there. Check it out, folks. You don't need to go to both of them. Can you? Of course you can. Might you pick something up if you go to both? Maybe. But will you pick something up if you go to one? Without a doubt. Right? Definitely want to go check it out. And here it is. There is the man with a plan, right? Brandon with his wonderful corsage there. But Spread Spectrum, guys. It is a free training, so check it out. All right, weekly training topic. Each week we pick a new topic. And if anybody has topics that you think are ones we should be considering for this, power option plays, power hour training, go ahead and send them to support. Andrew will drop a link in there to our support email. Go ahead and send them to support. You could also tell Andrew and he can copy it from here. But if you've got them, you could send them an email. This way I know we've got them, it's documented somewhere. But if you send it to us, we can add it to our list as one that we consider to put on the training. So small account, no problem, trade this, right? And this is where confusion comes in all the time of I don't have enough money to trade with. I don't really know what I should do. I'm going to stop my share for just a moment, guys. Bear with me. I need to start up my trade station. I wanted to leave it off as long as possible so it just didn't mess me up with Zoom and Omega Charts, which is live as well. So let me do this. And it's not us. It's not Omega Charts. It's not Zoom. It's TradeStation just goes nuts for data. Let's see. Where are we? Zoom, come back. There we go. Bueno. Okay, perfect. So look, are there numerous positions that you could trade or could consider trading? The answer is without a doubt. Are there some that should not even be a no-brainer, that should, probably didn't say that well. Are there some that are no-brainers when it comes to trading? Without a doubt, there are. There are some that are just that, right? There are positions out there that you can consider. And we say, what a small account? Because some of you are going to have a different opinion here. Rob, my account is pretty small. It's under 100K or it's at 100K. That's really not a lot, right? I'll tell you what, 100K is not a small account to most people, but I know some look at it that way, right? I want it to be a million. I get what you want. Forget about that. You know, you might be trading with $5,000. You might be trading with $1,000. You might be trading with less than $1,000, right? This is where we get into that smaller account. Even $10,000, when you think about it, it's not like you've got all this money to risk and you know, taking chances on placing these trades, right? So when you've got these smaller accounts, what do you need to do? Well, first thing is you got to build a list, right? So let me grab a notepad. Trade with a small account. All right, so you got to build a list. Right? I've done multiple trainings on it. You'll find a bunch of stuff on YouTube of building out your list. But basically, identify stocks that you see the stock has enough volume, it has enough intraday movement. What is your wildest average true range going to be? So if I go into Omega Charts, and this is the beauty of Omega Charts, folks, over using TradeStation and TOS and any of them. If I go here and yeah, this is my stocks on, you know, for pop, but I'm going to go down to the very last watch list in here, which is weekly optionable stocks. It shows 657 positions inside of here, right? If I sort this by Fibit, there are some stocks like Can that have a Fibit of 12 cents, which means it moves 6 cents a day, right? On Can, right? It's an 80-cent stock. I'm not interested, right? I'm going to sort it by that one more time. And then you're going to find that Booking has the highest Fibit. Now, Booking is a $5,000+ stock. I would bet 99% of you, Booking is absolutely freak out level. I'm not spending $6 bid ask spread on a contract. I'm not doing $140 on the, you're not doing it, right? So you work your way down and you'll see that the very high priced ones go away really quickly. I'm just going to clear all this off. The very high priced ones go away really quickly. Of the $657, if I get down to, I don't know, let's see, if I get down to RH, Restoration Hardware, all right, they're at $23, almost $24 is a Fibit. So that means every 2 days, they move $24. Cut it in half, every day they move $12 a day, right? Can this become an advantageous thing to you as a trader? The answer is yes, right? By being able to have that information, right? So when you're building out a list, you could check for volume. Wilder's average true range. If you do not have Wilder's, just use regular average true range. It's better than nothing, right? Wilder's just takes into account today's open, right? So the gap for today, where average true range does not, which would just be ATR. But keep in mind, someone had found in here, Jim, it might have been you, I don't remember. Someone had checked it. TOS and TradeStation both showed as ATR, but it is wildest average true range, right? So you need to build out a list, right? You could use, excuse me, options pricing. What does that mean? Well, I got a $500 account. How expensive am I going to go? Well, you can't go more than $5 for an option because that's $500. So you can't do it. And you shouldn't go $5 because you're spending your entire account on one trade. On a $500 account, you're probably going to break that down into 2 to 3 equal dollar trades. So say you broke it down into 2 trades, that's $250. That means your option that expires this week is got to be under $250 or it doesn't fit for you, right? Which means $2.50. Okay. Looks like Omega charts just froze. That's what I was afraid of. So, Jim, that wasn't you. Someone had typed it in. Trip, do you remember who had said it? Maybe it was you. I thought it was Jim, but I've been wrong before. Ask my wife; she'll tell you. Uh, so you got to build a list, right? But considerations on that list. So if we go here and we put in GameStop, Jimmy. I don't want to do that. Well, okay, too late. I already did it. But let me open up the option chain. I didn't forgot to get that going first. Right? GameStop, and I'm not saying GameStop's a good stock to trade. I'm just using an example of a lower price position. That's all I was trying to do here is capture a lower price position. GME, GameStop. All right. So I'm going to stop this. Stop the madness. I give it a second. We'll come back to it. So, and I'll start it up. So we're going to need it for the last segment. I've got all options here. I don't need all. I normally keep my option chain set at 20. It gives me enough. Takes me to a 94 delta. I don't trade that high. Takes me down to an 8 delta. I normally don't have to go lower than that. But if I'm looking to trade this, what am I looking for in my options data? Well, I want to find a 65 to 85 delta. I've got two of them right in there. So the 25 and a half, 26. Do I have at least 100 open interest on each one? See, I do. Right? What would it cost me? We go with the mid price as far as cost, and that would be 167 now and 124, right? That would be our cost is based on those two. Okay. So can I trade this if I've got a $500 account? Yeah. If I have a $1,000 account, a $10,000 account, $1 million account, of course. I'm not saying you have a large account, you don't trade lower price stocks. There's nothing wrong with doing this. I know individuals that's all they do is these stocks that are under $20, $30, $40. That's all they're looking to trade. Doesn't matter how much they have. It's how much they're willing to risk in that position at any given time, right? So GameStop is one of them, okay, as an example. Now, again, I'm not telling you to trade GameStop. There's inherent volatility around GameStop just because of Reddit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go search Reddit GameStop Jimmy and read the stories about what happened with GameStop's price and all that. You'll be blown away if you have not seen that. Okay, if you're not familiar with it. So let me go back to Omega charts one more time. Just bear with me, guys, as I log in. Come on. And I'm going to shut TradeStation down before we get into the last segment here today, which is your candidates. He's taking his time. All right, so let's go back in. Let me grab an option chain again. Okay. So what if we looked at something as simple as SPY? Not a monthly chart. Okay. What if we look at something as simple as SPY? Can someone tell me some of the major benefits of SPY? What are some of the major benefits of things like the spiders and the Qs and so forth? Let's go pull it up. No earnings, good. I love that. No earnings. The 500 stocks that are in the SPY have earnings, but there's no earnings on SPY itself, right? Um, Low cost. That should be a T. Low cost. Um, Large open interest. I'm just going to put OI. Large open interest. Liquidity. Lots of liquidity. Y'all are talking yourselves into it right now. Volume. And Michael had said tons of volume, but you are right, Michael. Their volume is huge. Um, Good movement. You actually can get assigned, Josana. You can be assigned on it. I have individuals, including one person who did a one-on-one with us that trades very large number of contracts, and was assigned the SPY as a position. So you buy the SPY. Yeah, there you go. I love that, Gene. 80%. So we're just going to do 70 to 80% of stocks move in direction of the SP 500, the SPX. Yeah, multiple strikes. You guys are on the right track here. Multiple strikes with the 65 to 85 delta. Someone said it, I just don't remember who, so I'm sorry that I missed it, but daily expiration SPY QQQ. Right? And then there are others that have, every other day and so forth. SPY and Q are definitely it, right? You had sent it, Brenda. Okay, thank you. So now if we go back and look at SPY, to me, it's a great looking stock. IWM also has the dailies. Thank you, Trip. Good. So let's add IWM in there. All right, we'll add IWM. So now if we come over here and let's go put in SPY into TradeStation. Expiring the 29th. What Friday is that? Oh, it's not. It's today. Expiring the 30th, tomorrow. Right? The 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd. Oh, that's Friday. The 3rd, right? But we've got every day, every trading day, you've got an expiration. So granted, we're at 12:45 right now. So half of the trading day, almost half the trading day is gone-ish, right? So the options are a little bit more cheaper right now than they were earlier today. But if we look right now, and I'm looking for that 65 to 85 delta, I only really have one that fits right now today. The 662s have a 74 delta, 10,000 open interest with 20,000, 26,000 in volume, by the way, FYI. Right? I'm going to pay $1.40. Look at the bid ask. 139 by 141. Midpoint, $1.40. They trade in nickels and dimes, in pennies. Look at the last numbers, right? 8703, 8107. They have multiple price ranges, so you can really get inside that strike there, right? And you can take this trade for nothing. And for those of you that are saying, yeah, but Rob, we've already had a lot of today go by. So let's just overpay and look at tomorrow, right? If we look at tomorrow, 65 to 85 delta, what do we got here? 66 delta, 85 delta. That's our range. Right now, for me, the one I would be looking to trade would be the 661s. Why? Because it's the lowest delta. It would cost me $3.14, right? It's going to cost you 280, 250 if you bought it for just a full day. Once the time value goes away, if this was 4 p.m., actually not 4 p.m., sorry, if this was 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, you're going to pay a lot less than 314 for it, right? Every day you're going to see that 661, is 3.25 right now, right? If we go look at the 661 for Thursday, it's 385. You got another 60 cents of time in there just because another day got added, right? They are absolutely outstanding positions to consider, right? There are multiple ways to trade them. You could trade the standard technical analysis using Fibonacci, support resistance, Bollinger Bands, whatever your technical aspects are, you could use all of that. They work well off support and resistance. They work extremely well off of the zones that Brandon uses, right? Tony's techniques, trips, it doesn't matter whose. Every trader, whatever the technique is, for technical I'm talking about, not strategy, but technical, every technical strategy is going to work with these positions. And I get the, man, but Rob, I want the home runs. Look, you're not going to get a lot of home runs on SPY. You're just not. Or on Qs or on IW. You're just not. But it's not the home runs that matter, right? It's not the 300 game that you bowled one time in your entire life. You know, you're 50 years old and you bowled it once. It's not the 300, right? For me, it was really the 298, which just sucked because I missed it by 2 pins. But we'll go to that another day. It's not the 300. It's what's your average spin. How do you do how do you do in the clutch? What happens when you have an ugly spare and it's the difference of your team winning the game or not? Can you pick it up? Right? Do you choke? That's where it comes down to. It's not can you hit a home run when you get up to the plate? It's can you get on base a lot of times? Can you be consistent? Dave Kingman, strikeout king, New York Mets, strikeout king, right? As the same time he was the home run king. Great. The home run king didn't seem to matter if he gets up and you're like, we got a 60% chance he's going to strike out, right? Or whatever his numbers were. I don't remember. Yeah, Brendan said Monday, Wednesday, Friday options are usually cheaper, right? Yeah, so SPY, it's an ETF. It's an exchange traded fund, right? So it trades just like a stock does. And it's no different on Qs. If we go in and change this over to Qs, it's got the similarities are ironic. Listen, when I said this the other day in one of the trainings I did, when I first started trading, my earlier years, on Fridays I took off except for expiration day, which means I worked one Friday a month because there was nothing going on. It wasn't an expiration. I didn't care. I couldn't pick up volatility there. You didn't have volatility crush. You didn't have, find an option that had premium in it in the morning, and then there would be nothing left there because the time value had gone away. You didn't have any of that. Today, things have changed to the point of daily expirations. And if we look on the Qs and we go look for today, right here, let me grab that same box, that pink box there. Here's 70 and 83. Not as much open interest on it and so forth, but I don't care, right? I can get a 70 delta for $1.34. I've got 5,000 open interest. Guess what? That gives me 4,071 more, 4,971 more than I actually need. I need 100. I don't care about the bigger number. It's nice, but I don't need it to trade. I do love that we've got big volume on it today, and I'm not surprised. They expired today. You're going to see the volume go there today. Right, look at the volumes here, 80,000, 36,000, 23,000, right? Shots in the dark. Sorry about the dog barking there. I heard a noise outside. There's a truck out there, and she heard it. I love Qs. Qs, SPY, you've got a smaller account. Stop worrying about the individual stocks that have a whole host of things that go wrong, including earnings, and start focusing on things like SPY. Now, is earnings still important? Yeah, sure they are, without a doubt. How important are they? What do you do about it? How do you offset it? Is there something I should be focused on? Yeah, you should. Perplexity, right? Give me the top 10 holdings in the SPY and the percentage of ownership for each. Put it in a table format. You could use ChatGPT. You could use anything your little heart desires. Grok, Copilot. I don't care. Use whatever you want. Right? And it's thinking, navigating. So it's doing the research. Now, could you go to Google and do this? Yes. You just don't know if the story it picked up or the blog post it picked up was from 4 years ago. So it's building it out. Here are the top 10 holdings of the Spiders, the SPY ETFs as of September 2025, along with the percentage weights, right? So NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, which is Google, right? Tesla, Broadcom, which is Avago to me. Another Alphabet, it's the B and C shares, and then Berkshire Hathaway, okay? So I'm glad they did it because I don't want to add it up. These top 10 make up 39%. Do you think it might be important to know what those top 10 are and maybe know when their earnings are coming out because they could affect it, right? That's how hard it is to figure some of this stuff out. And I know for some of you, AI is new, right? And you're crazed by it. Of how do I use it effectively? What's my recourse with it? Is it accurate and so forth. I love Perplexity because of the up-to-dateness of the data that it pulls. It can't do everything yet. It will, but it can't do everything yet. But these companies, you're going to want to know when earnings are for these. You probably don't want to be getting into NVIDIA on a trade if you're holding it overnight. I mean, SPY. If you're holding it overnight and NVIDIA's earnings are coming up tomorrow because they will affect the overall market, right? Because they are in the top 10 holdings. And I love to see NVIDIA surpass Apple. That's for sure, right? Josanna said, why use 65 to 85 delta? So the 65 to 85 delta, Josanna, is, and I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize. That 65 to 85 delta is all because of the way a bell curve is shaped and where the data falls on there. So let's see how good of a job I can do here. Not too bad, right? 65 to 85 is right in this range here. Okay. And we still have good growth potential here. That 30, what did you say there? 35 to 50. 50 delta says that there is a 50% chance that come expiration, you're going to have cash value in the option. If I have an 85 delta, there's an 85% chance. Now, 85 is too expensive, but it's the higher end of my range. If I have a 65 and an 85 to choose from, I will pick the 65 all day long, assuming apples to apples. There's enough open interest and it's not a wicked bid-ask spread and so forth. I would pick it all the time. But I always want to pick that 65, 85 because delta is actually a probability calculator. What's the chances of having cash value come expiration? If you've got a delta of 12, you've got a 12% chance that option is going to have cash value on expiration. A delta of higher than 85 is just too expensive. You might as well buy the stock. You're paying dollar for dollar almost. If you got 100 delta, you're paying dollar for dollar. Every dollar the stock moves, the option moves. You're not getting the leverage there. That 65 to 85 is the sweet spot. Wow, deep and insightful. You're welcome. And listen, guys, I bear it all here, right? We don't hold anything back. That's my system is right there. I hear it all the time. Rob, man, you're giving too much stuff away. You're telling people what to do. You're giving them your list of stocks to trade and blah, blah, blah. You know what? Yeah, here's my list of stocks. Go trade them. Yeah, if you don't know what I do and how I do it, it doesn't matter that you have my list of stocks. And I'll tell you right now, you go in power option plays, right? It's not a 1 day, 1 month, and you've got it figured out, right? You're going to be in there months learning the different techniques and the whys. Just the drawing the fib lines is going to take some time. Tom said, nice job with the bell curve. You're welcome, Tom. Thank you. for that. So, all right, what stocks you want to look at, guys? We don't have a whole lot of time left. We kind of got sidetracked there. I do apologize for that. So let me shut down TradeStation. Oy vey, come on. No to all. Just shut it down, baby. Shut it down. All right, exit TradeStation. Okay. Oracle is first one that came in. Hey, Roman. Let me go back and switch this over to all stocks, all symbols first. All right. So we got to wait for it to populate there, Roman. It won't let me do all stocks, so I gotta pull them up one by one. So all right, we got it for today. So Roman, I like this to the downside. Look, we've got a full, a clear path, right? Clear and concise entry, breakdown 282.64 retest and fail. 267.75 is a no-brainer. Could we get the same bounce off here, Roman, to the upside at 297? I'd probably cap it off at the 8, assuming we close there at 294 and a half, is where I would close off or top off my resistance line. So from 282 and a half to 294 and a half, you got 12 bucks. Yeah, I like it a lot. A whole lot. So I hope that helps, Roman. Let me know. Brenda's asking for BTC. You looking for Bitcoin or BTC as a stock? It's BTC as a symbol, I meant, not a stock, but a symbol. Let's see. So we got a fib drawn on BTC. We got a great bounce on it, Brenda. So here's the one thing I noticed. First thing that jumps out at me. Here, here. I don't know what this is going to be yet. Right? Bottoms are holding, tops are coming down. We have a descending triangle setting up in there. Right? So caution on that. But I do like where it is, Brenda. Can it make it up to the 51.84? I think so. We don't have a lot of room there, Brenda. So be very careful with this because there's not a lot there. GOD is gold in them there hills. Let's see. All right, 29. Good gap. Really good gap. Fear, without a doubt, fear of the government shutdown. And someone asked that question here. Les asked about government shutdown. There's fear of what's going to happen to the market. I don't think it's going to be pretty. That's for sure. At least not in the beginning. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I don't. I think no matter what, individuals' lives are going to be messed up because of it. Yes, they're going to get furloughed. Yes, they will get paid eventually. How many of you could eventually get paid 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months later and still pay your bills? That's a problem, right? That's a problem. I get the understanding of where it's coming from. I've never been a fan of we need to build all this other stuff in just to fund the government. No, fund the government. That's a separate bill. Pass the bill. Or try to pass that bill, but you need to pay the government, and that's not what we're trying to focus on right now. I don't care who it is. Having a clean CR to me, we should not have. Let's get this big bill and give a park to this person or money for this thing that they need in that state and this in this state, just so we get their vote on the one thing we need. You know, American people should hang politicians for doing that stuff. Yeah, and there could be some people. Not even, well, you said permanently laid off, fired, terminated. We're not gonna lay you off because we're not gonna pay you. We're letting you go. GOD 349.80, Brenda. On the downside, it needs to pull back first. It's too far away from anything after today's gap. I'd be cautious with it. Let's see. We got a lot of candidates in here, folks, today. I'm gonna try to get to all of them if at all possible. SPY, which is the spiders we were just talking about. So I would love this to hang, Dennis, for a day or two here. Get the 8 moving average up near the 663.83 level, and then get a breakout, a retest, and a bounce, and take the trade from there. Can you take it off of the 663? You can. I would do it as aggressive, so less contract. So if you normally trade $1,000 in a trade, maybe if you take it off of the 663.83 without the moving average there, instead of 1,000, maybe you put in 400 or 500. You're putting in less, right? A lower dollar amount. Hope that helps. Trusana's asking for AMD. So AMD has been kind of blah. I needed to break above and close above the 163.78 retest and bounce, and then and only then would I consider it. INCY. I don't have any fibs drawn on this. Who is this? Pharma. Okay. Caution grasshopper. I get chills up my spine with biotech with how bad I've gotten burned in the very beginning of my trading career on biotech. So if we come down and look at the fib, it's not a big one in there. We're getting the bounce off the 82 half, 87 quarter, but keep in mind, high, lower high, is this setting up as another low high? That's my fear. And we're getting lower lows too. It's not even a descending triangle. We're getting lower lows. So caution there. Henry, how you doing? PayPal, PYPL. Right? PYPL. Yeah. Come on, what am I doing? PYPL. PayPal. All right. I use it all the time. So we got a big fib right here to draw. We're gonna draw it there. All right, we're kind of in the middle on this one, Henry. I'd be a little cautious. I'd love the retest of the 6630, but at this point, I think I'd like to see it break the 7266, hang there for a little bit, let the 8 moving average catch up because we're upside down on our moving averages right now, and then consider it from there. Gene's asking for Amazon. Gene, if we can get any kind of bearishness in the market, I like this to the downside at 217.19 with where we're sitting now. We get bad news from the president and with the meeting today on the shutting down of the government. And he says it's without a doubt we're going to shut down. And we see that we will be laying off 14,000 people, permanent layoffs. They're not coming back. They're not being furloughed or whatever the numbers are. And we get a bearish move tomorrow. 217.19 is support. I'd be all over it if we can retest that 221.75 tomorrow, fall down, retest 221.75, drop, take the trade, 217.19 is support. So I do like where it's at right now, Gene. Amazing Amazon. That's what we just looked at. Dash, sorry. Let's try that again, this time with the right letters. So once again, big gap up today on DoorDash. I like it, but I would not mind seeing the 8 moving average catch up a little bit. If it doesn't, break above the 268.66, come back, retest and bounce. 276.72 is resistance. All right. Oh, there's another one there. AAOI. It doesn't like it. All right. Let's see. Right? But it's too old. When I say it's too old, we've already violated down here. But the fib didn't. Nine. Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's actually not bad, but it's just older because we've already broken down through the 882. So we're going to draw a new fib, but it's not going to be very pretty because we don't have a pretty place to draw off of here. And very low price. So the distance between the 618 and the 50 is only $2.50. I normally want to see it at least $3, at least three, but we don't have it. So 26 to 31. I need fibbits in here. So I need a negative 136 and a 118. If you're not sure what fibbits are and how they work, go over to tradinglikeaboss.com. It's our free website that has all of our resources that are free are on this page. Scroll down until you find Fibonacci, today's power indicator. Download it. You're going to get an email sequence, 3 parts with video link in it, one each day, 3 days in a row. It's about an hour long in total, and you'll get an understanding of how fibs work and the things that I do. All right. So with where we are right now, AAOI, break above the 2642, retest bounce, and 29 is resistance. Let's see. Amelia said the new U.S. tariffs on branded or patented pharmaceutical products are scheduled to take effect October 1st. So yeah, Amelia, she asked the question, then answered it. So October 1st is when we're going to deal with that, folks. So yeah, we could have some stuff on biotech. So be very careful. And that scares me with the biotechs. I mean, if the country just says, yeah, we're just not going to send you medicine anymore, that's a huge problem. because we don't have the ability to produce it. Jim said next earnings season looks to start around the week of October 20th. Appreciate that, Jim. So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another successful Power Hour in the books, right? It was a great class. I do appreciate all the participation. You guys were awesome today. Let me put this thing back up here one last time, which was this. So if you want to capture that, do a screen capture of that. It's got all the details on it. Andrew dropped a whole bunch of links in there today, folks. Go and grab them. Getting into Brendan's class, getting into the Trading Post newsletter, right, and the likes. Take advantage of that. Do not miss out on those free resources. That's for sure. So with that, everybody, I'm going to leave the room open for a few minutes. I'll leave my screen up. You can hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all on our next update. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.